10 Count by Deor.
Hey guys, welcome to 10 Count by Deor. We're so excited and honored to have one of my good friends, Jackie the Hybrid.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Pleasure.
How you doing? I want to ask you. I keep looking at your shoes.
I
know too. I know you're a sneakerhead. I've seen all the shoes. What's your favorite silhouette?
I mean, I just go based on look. I like high tops, obviously. I like Nikes. But I have Vans. I have all different styles. I like Nike Air Maxes. It just, if it catches my eye, I'll buy it. I don't like just the regular plain what you can buy at the mall. It's got to be unique. It has to stand out. And honestly, I was always a sneakerhead, but that kind of changed when I started doing power slapping because the uniforms were kind of sucky. Yeah. And the way what they were giving us to wear wasn't like the best representation for us. So the only way that we could kind of show our style was through our shoes. So we kind of made it a competition between all of us. It was mainly me against all of the guys to see who had the best shoes. So
Emmanuel rocks them too, right?
He does, he does. Yeah, there's quite a few guys that do.
So you buy them like that, or you get them special?
Oh no, I find them and buy them.
Oh
yeah.
Have you ever customized your own, or?
I have, but Vans. Not any Nikes yet. Nike, I'm looking for a deal.
The deal, the sponsorship.
Yeah.
And how many shoes do you have? Like, because I'm pretty sure you've already wired a bunch of them.
I just ordered like 20 new pairs.
Wow.
But I probably already have like 250.
No.
Yeah.
Are you wearing all of them?
There's a few that I haven't worn, but for the most part,
Are you planning on wearing all of them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of Nikes, the soles get like crumbled up after years of not wearing it.
Oh yeah, I'll wear them. I'll get on the stage and wear, like I'm not gonna be out wearing and rocking them all the time. But there are certain ones that I like. Like I've worn these probably like a handful of times. Certain ones I like, I'll wear, and certain ones for the stage, I'll wear for the stage.
Do you always bike in bulk, or is it just?
I do, because I get a better deal.
Yeah. That's nice. That's
do you have the Ferris Bueller's?
I don't, but you know what? The funny thing is, like, I never even knew that he had shoes, and after he had this huge reaction at my very first power slap.
Yeah, that's about to tell you that.
I got some of his, and I have like 6 pairs of his now. Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Talking about that, he had a huge reaction.
He did.
Everybody there, it was like just crazy.
Well, he was there rooting for her.
Really?
So yeah, because if you watch, like, he was like cheering her on when she came onto the stage, and rightfully so. You know, she was the face of women's power slap, and she had some viral knockouts, and for her to get knocked out like that was a shock.
Yeah, it was a brutal knockout.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it was. I remember just seeing it, and I'm pretty sure like the slap doesn't even sound as good in TV as in real life, right?
In real life, it sounded.
Everybody was
brutal.
Like, shocked. Like everybody was. Like, what do you feel when you're there and you see everybody's reaction? I know you're pumped, but like, what goes through your mind in that, like in that second, like?
Honestly, for me, I've been competing for so long. I knew that's what I was there to do, and I knew that maybe not as gnarly of a knockout, but I knew that I was going to win. I didn't have any doubt that that's what the outcome was going to be. But just seeing everybody else's reaction, like, oh, dang, look what just happened. Like, it kind of pumps you up, obviously, and there's a lot of celebrities there. Dana White is sitting in the front row, you know, it's my first time doing it, and, you know, it was just a really cool experience, and obviously it's still happening. So, you know, it's fun, and I enjoy doing it, and it's not as strenuous on my body, so.
Yeah, cool. How much of a shocker did you really have when they told you, like, you know, that it was that you lifted your foot and it was disqualification?
To be honest, I don't even know why they disqualified me still to this day.
Yeah.
Because originally it was oh, she lifted her foot. The official was clubbing.
Right. Yeah. That's
So I have no idea really why I was disqualified.
honestly, they kept saying, you know, it wasn't a club. So
They-
it's like-
yeah, they
and
said
then-
it,
so
yeah.
they were unsure either. Like when they were commentating,
Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
they were so like they were not sure like
Yeah.
what was happening
Yeah.
until they saw you in that.
And I did lift
replay.
my foot.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
back and I watched it, and I did. Obviously, that's a part of the learning process. My very first time doing it, I knew for 2 weeks that I was gonna do it. I didn't have a lot of time to train for it, and obviously, I did as much as I could in the short amount of time that I had. But I'm still an MMA fighter. You know, we step and we pivot our feet, and that's the whole goal when you punch somebody.
Right.
That's hard to like just take away
Right,
in that short
exactly.
amount of a time. But obviously, I'm working on it, and you know, the last one went well, and I didn't step, and I didn't move my feet, and it'll get better as I go, I
No,
guess.
for sure. Yeah.
Are you planning on continuing this, or are you gonna eventually just stick to like MMA or?
So right now, I think I'm the only person that is doing both.
Okay.
I fought 6 weeks ago for
I saw it.
Invicta, MMA, and then I will be competing again in a couple of weeks slapping. And I have another fight scheduled for December, so I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm trying to just stay busy. The goal, obviously, is not slapping.
Right.
It was never the goal. It was
Yeah.
never even in my. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was never in my sights, but it just happened, and I'm doing well at it. And you know, it's a path that I'm taking, and hopefully, it leads me to the UFC. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's fun, and it pays well, and you know.
Hey.
Slap on.
Yeah, so we'll see. I honestly don't know. If I could tell the future, you know, that'd be great. But you know, for now, I'll do both.
Does it affect in the training wise? Does it affect basically you training for UFC and also say you're going to train for a slap competition? Does it affect you in any way?
Honestly, I don't really train for the slapping.
No, yeah, because I've heard that they have to train. You guys train also or something like that.
I mean, I'm sure some people do, but I don't. I don't change what I'm doing. I'm already training 24/7 every day, all year long for a fight. I don't feel like training for something else or needing to add something else in is really that important. I do practice swinging sometimes, but it's not something that's like every day I'm out there swinging on a dummy or doing this. And honestly, it's, you know, what I'm doing is working, so I'm not really going to change anything up.
Yeah. Talking about a little bit of your last fight with Otani, man, you look
Yeah.
amazing.
I felt really good.
Insane. I mean, you know, we were just talking earlier how she came out really like
Yeah, she was like, oh, I
confident,
got this and whatnot.
like,
Yeah.
And as soon as you touched her, you could see her on her face. She was like, "Oh no, I don't have this, and I'm already in here. What am I doing?"
Yeah.
And then it just went downhill for her after that. It was really funny because I watched the weigh-ins and everything, and she was like taunting you, and she like she had a little attitude.
She was
I saw
even going like
feel like
opening her arms.
respectful
First
and everything. And then it starts. You hit her, and then she was like, "Oh wow!" Like if I guess she didn't think you were gonna hit as hard.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh wow!" And you can see it on her face, and then
felt
it
the
was
power.
just done after that. Like,
Yeah, I think. I mean, she has the right to be confident. She's 5-0.
Right.
She has no losses. She's never been beaten. But also, I think it's a cultural thing. You know, she's not American. She's Brazilian. They have that kind of cocky attitude
Yeah.
in general. So I kind of knew that going in, which is why I didn't really let it bother me at all. I knew what I was going there to do, and I was pretty confident that I was going to win the fight. The only thing that I was a little bit concerned about was it was in Colorado, so the altitude, not training there or being there for long enough to kind of see how my body would feel. But honestly, I felt fine. I didn't even really get tired. I didn't sit down in between the rounds, so
Oh wow.
yeah, I felt really good.
Yeah, you looked really good.
Yeah.
Was she at least on TV? You looked like she was a little bit bigger than you.
Well, she was way bigger than me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because it seemed like she was a little bit bigger, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, hold on.
So for me, I don't cut for 145 pounds. I walk around like 148 pounds. The weigh-in is 146, so that's not a cut.
Yeah.
So the goal obviously is to go to 135. I just really haven't had an opportunity to go there because everything is kind of last minute.
Right.
When it's last minute and they offer you something last minute, they always go to the heavier weight.
Got it.
So, I mean, honestly, for slapping, I won't cut weight. Just because I'm not going to dehydrate my brain and then get slapped in the head.
Yeah.
For fighting, I'll do it just because I have enough time to kind of rehydrate and eat and get myself back together. But and it's not even that bad if I'm walking around 10 pounds heavier than the weight. A lot of these people cut like an outrageous amount of weight to go down. So I'm doing all right.
And sometimes they do it last minute. I think that has an effect.
Oh, 100%. She cut a lot of weight actually because the day of the fight, the commission checks your weight. I think I was like 149. She was like 165.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she was like 146 on the dot. She barely made it, and then she hydrated overnight, and the next day they check, and she was pretty heavy. So yeah, that's why she looks bigger because she is. But it also affects you in the fight. That's why she was slower and she was just kind of lethargic.
Yeah.
Because you gain so much weight so fast, you just lose the edge.
Yeah.
You looked great, but do you feel good at that weight? Like, do you feel like you could compete?
Oh yeah, I feel really good at that weight.
Oh,
because when I originally started fighting, I was fighting at 155 pounds.
Oh wow.
My weight kind of over the last 3 years since I've been doing this kind of just naturally has walked down. Just from consistently training every day and just living a different lifestyle, watching what I eat, dieting. So yeah, I feel confident at this weight. I feel like, they don't even really have anybody at 145 pounds in the UFC right now. Like, I feel like that weight class is hurting for people.
Yeah.
So I'll probably stay there.
That's really
Just, I'm not a proponent of cutting a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I want to feel strong and healthy and I don't want to be like tired and drained and then have to go out there and like try and wrestle the shit out of you. Like, I want to be strong. So, 45 is probably going to be where I stay.
So 45, and then you said you would cut to 35.
I'm open to cutting to 35 depending on
Would you go
who the
up
opponent
more
is.
than 45? That's too big.
No, they're just too big.
Yeah.
They're already big. At
I know.
45, you can tell physically they're bigger than you.
Yeah.
So 55 is just too big.
Yeah. Another question that I have is like, you were really like just going at her and she looks all bloody, and then that moment when you picked her up and put her on, like just blood started splashing. And has that ever occurred to you, like if blood goes in your mouth like that, like does it really like mess with you, or like are you concerned about that?
Honestly, no. We all get tested.
Right, definitely.
So I know nothing's going to happen to me. Yes, it is gross. It is, it's part of it. But I know that she doesn't have anything that's going to cause me harm outside of the fight. But also I don't know if you noticed, when I did cut her, because I pushed her against the cage and I threw the elbow, and that's what cut her.
Right.
And I kind of kept my face away from her because I noticed the blood and I didn't want to get blood on my face. But after that, it was just everywhere, and it was slippery, and it was like, oh God. But yeah, it's part of fighting.
So after that happened, you slammed her, took her to the ground.
Yes.
You have her, I believe, it's a triangle or something. Was it, or is it a? You have it in
after the elbow?
Yeah, after you slam her down.
Oh, after I slammed her down.
There's like a choke that her arm is up.
Oh, I had an arm choke.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're just going at it, right? And she didn't give up. Were you like, was it really tiring? Because I've heard a lot of fights that it's like their arms give up.
It wasn't tiring, but I train jiu-jitsu. And I know that if I stay in this position, knowing how long I had already stayed in that position, I would burn my arms out.
Got it.
And she does survive, and then I have to stand back up and throw my hands. My arms are going to be tired. So that's why I went away from it, and I wound up finishing in that round, but it's still like, you don't want to try and go for the submission, they get out of it, and then
Right.
shit, now I can't pick my arms
Yeah,
up. You know?
exactly. I mean, she was there for a minute.
Yeah,
Like, she was there for a while.
She was.
Yeah, I saw you squeezing. I was like, oh, that she's done.
Yeah.
And you just kept squeezing. I was like, it's too long. Like, is she alive? She's all bloodied up, and you're squeezing
Yeah.
her neck.
You have to admire though how calm you are, you know, when you're there on the ground. It's like, I think for that, it's like mentally you have to be like, you can't panic, right? You have to be like some fighters do, and it's just like, you know, I see you when you're just there, you're very calm, like, you know, taking your air in and breathing. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's I know that we've done jiu-jitsu a little bit, and we're like,
I tap, let me go.
but I think it has to do a lot with mental. And,
Yeah.
just
I mean,
kind of
honestly-
keeping your calm. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
keep calm.
For me, it comes with, I've competed for a really, really long time.
Right.
Not necessarily fighting, but I was on the U.S. wrestling team for 21 years.
Right.
I competed on really high levels in front of huge crowds, like, so I don't have that nerves, that fear, that, like, I just get in there and I'm like, this is okay, I do this every day.
Right.
You know, so I don't let all of the outside stuff bother me when I'm in there. I'm in there having fun.
Right.
So it's I'm focused on what I'm supposed to do, and a lot of people think it's so weird that I don't get nervous, and I just don't. Like, even my boyfriend, he still gets nervous, and I'm like, I don't feel nervous. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Like, I say, like, it's because I've competed for so long, and I've gotten that out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to get nervous now, you know.
And I'm sure how crazy the power slapping gets. Because everything's like right there. Everybody's
They're right
screaming.
there, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I bet, and then everybody's quiet, just waiting for the slap, and then
Yeah.
it must be like, oh yeah, dude, that's nothing. Like when you're, I don't know, in a octagon just fighting, you're like, fine, at least they're away from me.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when you're about to get slapped? Just waiting for that slap, or is it like UFC?
I didn't get nervous. The first time that I did get slapped, which was my second match, because the first one I didn't get slapped.
Right.
I slapped first, and she recovered, and then she was slapping me, and we know on the swing when they're gonna slap, so we close our eyes. That way we don't flinch.
Right.
So I closed my eyes, and then I felt like, fuck. Where the hell is it? It's not coming. Like, it took forever. Like, I just felt like, damn, it just took forever to get there. And then when it finally landed, like, it wasn't as bad as, like, I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody puts it in their head, like, oh, God, it's this terrible thing. And it can be.
Right.
But I think for the women's side, there's not a lot of women that have that kind of power. Like these dudes that are 400 fucking pounds, like they have power. It doesn't matter if they turn over, like they have power.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of women our size that can generate that kind of power.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, hopefully they can find some girls that
they can compete with me.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And I mean, you took it well. I mean, you know, I saw it. And it's so like once you like felt it, were you like more confident? Like I got her.
100%.
Like
Yeah. My reaction was like, oh, that's it. That's my reaction was like, dang, that's all that it was.
That's all you got.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's going to be other smacks that are more, you know, that sting a little bit more, you know, it just depends on the person, but I feel pretty confident that anybody that they put in front of me, I'm not going to have a problem with. Yeah.
How was the aftermath? Because like, for your first match, so you go in here, everybody's like, oh my God, you know, you were the underdog 100%, and then you knock her out, and then you blow up. You were everywhere. Everybody was reposting you.
Yeah.
You just went viral.
Yeah.
Like, how was it? How did you live it? Like, was your phone just like going off like crazy?
Yes. Honestly, I could not wait to get out of Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it was just that from the time I walked off the stage.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
like people in the lobby of the hotel, like it was just chaotic, and I was like, oh God. And I'm doing this I'm the type of person that I like to compete. I like to see how far I can go and something that I like to do. And I was raised that way. I have 5 brothers. We all wrestled. Like, you know, I was on the Olympic and national team for wrestling, and I'm not doing it to be famous.
Right.
And I have kids, and I don't want to walk down the street and people bombard me and ask me for pictures and autographs, and I can't even get to where I'm going.
Yeah.
So when it kind of happened, I was like, oh God, maybe I don't want to do this. But obviously, you know, it's cool because I also coach high school wrestling, and all of the kids think it's super cool, and you know, their coach is this power slapper and is famous, and you know, it's cool for them to have some type of role model that's not necessarily, yes, I'm a good wrestler, and you know, I'm famous for that, but wrestling is a very small, you know, community, and I can show wrestling is where I started.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, look at all of these things that I'm doing because I was a high school wrestler.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
so it's cool for them.
You think you'll ever get used to that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do the kids even listen to you now?
Yeah, I just kicked the kid out of the wrestling room today.
What was the first basically self-defense type of sport you did? Was it wrestling or?
It wasn't, actually. My dad owned a martial arts school from the time I was born. I didn't start wrestling until I was 12. So we did Shaolin Kempo, martial arts, from the time we could all walk. And there's 8 kids in my family.
Oh, wow.
And both of my parents taught. They had a martial arts school our entire childhood lives. And then he started coaching high school wrestling when my oldest brother went into high school. And they just retired from coaching high school wrestling 3 years ago. And me and my younger brother took over the program from them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they coached for 30 plus years, almost my entire life. So yeah, lots of mixed martial arts background.
That's all you've done, just martial arts?
Martial arts, the wrestling, and then now obviously I train boxing, jiu-jitsu, the MMA.
Makes sense why you don't get nervous.
Yeah.
You know how to block and throw a punch.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the mouthpieces. What do you think about our mouthpieces?
Oh God, I love mouthpieces. I love the fact that because I am a dual sport person, that you can customize it to the thickness that I need, because obviously power slapping is a little bit different than MMA. MMA, I need to breathe a little more. I need to be able to move around and breathe with the mouthpiece. And slapping, I need my teeth protected and I need my jaw protected. They're super comfortable. I have not had one issue, and I have not been rocked in one mouthpiece. So I mean, they're doing their job. So
Yeah. No,
So with everything you got going on, right? You said you're a coach, you're doing power slapping, you're fighting MMA, and you're also a mom. How do you
that's
manage
just like half the
everything?
list.
Yeah, exactly. And I figure, like, do you have superpowers? Like, how do you do it?
Honestly, it has a lot to do with the way that I was raised. I was raised in a law enforcement family. Also, I have a strong mom. She raised 8 kids. Like, you have to be strong to be able to do that. And everybody was in sports, and they owned a martial arts school. And, you know, she was a multitasker. So, like, obviously, I am a full-time electrician. That is my job.
What?
That's why I was talking about the electrical. I did the power slapping, the MMA. I have 2 biological kids and 2 stepsons. I am a seasonal wildland firefighter. I do that just to stay in shape because I like the hiking. What else? I do the high school coaching. So yes, I am very busy. I lack sleep, so that's why I needed the coffee today. But no, it's not a superpower. It's just, you know, I have this drive to want to do better than my parents did for my kids. And it's really hard to do when your parents are millionaires and they have set themselves up and are super successful. Like, I have to have 10 jobs. You know? Like, if I want to outdo them, I have to have a lot of jobs. So, yeah.
No, and it's true. I mean, even though my son, I can tell because my son is like, Dad, like, you expect so much from me. I'm like, dude, Yeah, it's so easy.
Kids these days don't know.
You don't understand. You don't understand how easy you have it, man. But he's doing good. Love my son. So he's actually leaving us in December. He got a really good contract in Mexico playing soccer. He plays some professional soccer. So. Yeah, I don't think it has hit me yet.
It will.
Until it's not.
It didn't hit my parents, so I left when I was 17. I moved to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs from California. I was still in high school. It didn't hit my parents till they walked me to the airport gate.
Jeez.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, oh shit, our teenager is leaving, you know? So.
And then just crying, I'm assuming.
Yes, 100%. Mom, not dad.
How was your experience there? Like,
honestly,
away from parents, kind of like being an adult at that age, you know, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot different from.
It was different. It honestly, it wasn't the best experience, only because they were not used to having people there that were underage.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody there was over the age of 18, not in high school. The only people that were there, and he is a 2-weight class champion in the UFC now, were me and Henry Cejudo. We carpooled to high school together.
Wow.
So like we were going to high school and then we were training, and we were missing a lot of school, and we were just teenagers, you know, and so it was like there was no guidance.
Yeah.
You know, we were there and wrestling, and we loved to wrestle, but we didn't have that, hey, do your fucking homework, and you know, like,
exactly.
do the shit you're supposed to be doing. So wrestling wise, it was a great experience. Outside of that, you know, there's things they can work on.
Yeah. That's good.
How? So you said you're a firefighter?
Seasonal wildland firefighter.
Oh, that's insane.
And how? What did you get into that? Other than the hikes that you said you love hiking.
So, my boyfriend actually wanted to be a firefighter. One of my really close friends through wrestling was a pretty high up for wildland for the U.S. Department of Forestry. So when I talked to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys can, you know, I'll walk you through the process." I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna try it too. Like I'm just gonna watch. Since I'm helping him go through the process, like I might as well do all the stuff too, just in case I want to try it."
Yeah.
And so we kind of walked through the process and did it, and we had went to Colorado for some stuff last season, and I have not done anything this season because I'm super busy.
Yeah.
So I've kind of deferred this season. But we did some hot shot stuff last season, and it was pretty cool. I had a really good experience doing it. So the goal is maybe go to Cal Fire.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that like your own call? Do they tell you like, hey, can you work this season? Oh,
well,
okay.
they'll call you. They'll be like, hey, are you available?
Got
and it's
it.
usually like a 14-day you're gone.
Oh.
Like we need you this day, and it's usually like 1 day later, and then you're gone for 14 days, and you're like a resource. So like if they need resources, like these huge fires that they have, they bring people in for that, and so that's what you're signed up for.
And so it's 14 days, but
they can't keep you for more than 14 days.
Oh, they can't? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I thought they were like, oh, it's 14 days.
Well, 14 days, and then they have to give you 72 hours off, and then they can call you back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So do they have cabins?
But you can just not answer the phone.
They're like, I'm sorry, I'm in a super mom right now. Leave me alone.
No, my question was, do they have cabins for you guys out there? Or
they usually put us up in hotels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, if the fire's really bad, you tent it.
Yeah.
You tent it on the fire. Yeah.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And what's harder, training for MMA or wildfires?
Oh, wildfires. Oh, 100%.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, compared to a fire, like, training for MMA is like a walk in the park.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Props to those guys that do it.
Exactly. Because people complain about them, like, oh, why isn't it over already? Why is the fire still going?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It does.
And those guys don't sleep, and they're out there all the time, and they're cutting line, and they're, you know, it's a lot of work, and you're out there with no. Wildland is different. Like, you don't wear a mask, and you're just out there. Yeah. So
Wow.
you're hiking
that
with
is
a pack and tools, and you know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What's like the hardest thing you had to do in a situation like that?
I mean, cutting line is hard. It's like, whatever your crew size is, and you're right next to the fire and you're cutting line because you want to create a line around the fire so that the fire's not spreading.
Oh, okay.
And you have to get ahead of it. So it's like you're a gardener and you're cutting this line and you have to go fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's hard work.
Yeah.
If you're not drinking water, you're passing out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have to be in shape too.
And you need to be in shape. Yeah.
Sorry, just blanked out. Cutting line, but I was like, wait, what's cutting line? Then you answered what cutting line was. So I was just like, the other question just left already. Do you have your shoes that you're gonna wear for your next match?
I haven't decided. I'm hoping these ones that I just
20?
ordered, I'm hoping these ones are here in time because I'm leaving on October 18th. We fly out. So hopefully they are here in time. If they're not, I might have a pair.
Out of the 200.
Yeah.
You're like, do you have, so when Emmanuel was here, he was saying that his hair or his shoes, he tries to like, for each match.
Me and him are the same, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're the
really?
same. I always because I braid my hair.
Yeah.
So I always do whatever corner I'm in.
Oh,
The color
I
is
see.
what
Okay,
I
yeah,
do for my hair.
Do they tell you in advance? Or,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they tell
I always ask because I need to know for my hair. But yeah, so and a lot of people don't care and they're not like that and they wear whatever. They don't give a shit. But if you want to advertise yourself, if you want to be sellable in this sport, and I have a hard time saying this is a sport, but it's becoming a sport. You have to be able to sell yourself, and just with MMA, as much as it is about going in there and winning, you have to be able to promote yourself. And Dana wants people that people are going to want to watch.
Right.
It's about the money. It's about how many tickets he can sell.
Right.
So, so it's the same with Power Slap. If you're marketable, if you present yourself well, then he's going to want to keep bringing you back. And luckily for me, he wants me to go to Abu Dhabi. So,
How great would it be to get a knockout in Abu Dhabi?
Actually, well,
honestly, I am 99% certain that's what's going to happen.
are you excited to just visit another? I mean, it's just far too. I mean, how long is the flight for that?
I think it's 18 hours. Yeah. It's an 18-hour flight. But honestly, I've done longer for wrestling.
Yeah.
I used to travel to different countries. It's been a while since I traveled outside of the country to compete, but I'm still excited for it. I don't care about the flight, it's the end goal is to get the knockout.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's at.
Just an experience to travel over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never been there. So
Are you guys planning to stay a little bit longer than after the match, or are you coming right back?
I'm not sure with Abu Dhabi. It's different. It's especially for women. We got an email. You have to dress a certain way. There's no drinking in public. There's there's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I even want to stay a little bit longer. But the UFC fights are also the same weekend.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. I'm just gonna play it by ear.
Yeah.
So they have all these rules that you have to go back.
So I remember when the UFC went to Abu Dhabi at first, they kind of had them consolidated in one area.
Yeah.
Is the same for you guys? Just
we'll all
this is
be
your area
together.
where you need to stay and then don't go out of this.
Yeah, I think because there's going to be quite a few of us, it's going to be all the UFC fighters and all the Power Slappers we're all going at the same time. So I think we'll all kind of be together. So I think we'll be okay. It's just it's a different country,
Different rules.
I've traveled to different countries and the rules are different, and especially this type of a country, You don't want to break the rules and then wind up stuck in Abu Dhabi jail for a fucking year. I don't. I want to come back.
You'll have to go coaching.
Don't they give you a permit for only a couple of days to be out there or something like that?
So you don't have to have a visa to go to Abu Dhabi. But there are certain countries that you do, but this is not one of them. Yeah.
That's really cool. So as an MMA fighter And I heard you earlier, like, oh, this is not a sport. How has it been hard or not accepting power slapping? I was like, because I'm sure like MMA fighters are like, oh, dude, power slapping. Why would I go do that? You know, has
They
it been
won't.
hard? Yeah, exactly. You won't, because I feel like it'll be really hard for them to just sit there. Or, you know, I'm sure it's really hard for you to just sit there and be like, oh, I could just choke you out right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Or I could just over there kick you
right in the
over,
head.
yeah, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Has it been hard for you to accept it, like make amends of it, understand that this is what you're doing right now?
Honestly, it hasn't. I'm pretty good at putting things in the places that they need to be, and this is one thing that I'm doing, and because I do so many things, it's a little bit easier for me to like, everything has its place, and you know, the only thing that's been difficult is kind of making sure that I'm not fouling and I'm following the rules, and you know, I'm having a clean match. But yeah, it's been fine. I like it, I enjoy it, and I don't think it's any harder than anything else that I do.
Yeah, I knew you do so many hard stuff. I wouldn't think it'd be that hard.
Yeah.
Especially doing all this crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're definitely a super mom.
Yeah.
What do your parents, Patrick, and your kids think about you doing the power slap?
So when I got the offer, both my parents, Patrick, and my daughter, we all went to Vegas and met with Dana. Because my parents were a little, they weren't sure, you know, they were like, what? No. Patrick, he will support anything that I want to do, so he was even still kind of like, you're gonna let somebody slap you? Okay, but you know. But I think once I did it the first time, even though I was disqualified, they were like, oh shit, like, this is like, this could be good, you know? So, and honestly, I did it with the aspect of, it's a good business move for me.
Right.
Do I want to be a power slapper? No. And I've said this all along. I said this to them in the meeting. They know my end goal is to go to the UFC, to be an MMA fighter. If that isn't the end goal, then I retire. Okay. And I have 10 other things I'm still doing. So, you know, if the UFC doesn't happen for me in my lifetime, it's not the end of the world, you know. That's the goal. And power slap is the foot in the door for that. So that's the reason that I did it. And I'm hoping that he sees that fighting is what I want to do. But I think right now he likes that I am power slapping and wants me to continue to do that. But it's fun for now. So
Yeah.
Is there like a time frame you're setting, like, hey, if they don't contact me, hey, if you want to do UFC now, are you gonna basically retire from power slapping, or is it something you're gonna continue regardless? Or
I haven't really thought that in depth about it.
Okay.
I have thought I'm not going to continue competing into my 40s
Mhm.
in anything.
Yeah.
My body can't handle it. Nobody should be competing into their 40s. Like, we're too old. If you've been doing it as long as I have, like, you have injuries, you have ailments, you need surgeries, you have things that need to be taken care of, and 40 is just too old to continue to do it. I'm 36. I'm 36, so I have a couple of years, and then I retire, you know, and then I continue on with my life.
Are any of your kids following in your footsteps?
All of my kids wrestle. So, yes, they are. I don't know about MMA, but I honestly didn't think MMA was in my scope until 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Are you opposed if they want to?
No, not at all. If it's something that they want to do, I'm always going to support whatever they want to do, but, you know.
Plus, I have a great coach.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I avoid trying to overcoach them in wrestling, because my dad was my coach, and it was 24/7 all the time at the fucking dinner table. Like, you know, and there was never an off switch.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to feel like they don't love it.
Right.
You know, so I let my brother do it. I let my brother yell at them, hey, you got to make this weight, you got to do this. That way it's not pressure from me.
Right.
So, And no offense to my dad, I am this good because he did that. But, you know, it's a different time.
But it's hard. I mean, I coach my daughter in soccer, and I can tell you that sometimes it's hard not to, you know, talk about the game
100%.
afterwards.
I agree.
It's like, Mama, you could have done this different, and you could. She's only 6. She's like, Dad, are you serious right now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm eating my nuggets, leave me alone.
But it's hard not to.
Yeah.
As a coach, it's hard not to. You know, kind
Yeah.
of, especially because you know, I think you actually take it out more on your kids than other kids. You know, and she's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I mean, she's like,
Well, I feel like there's already some type of pressure just because I have a name already. And not necessarily just a name in wrestling, because they don't really know that.
Right.
You know, I do have a name in wrestling, but like now with MMA and with power slapping, like all of their friends see that, oh, your mom's a power slapper. Like there's already that pressure, you know, so I don't want to add on to that pressure by like, why didn't you get that takedown? You know, like, so.
what are your coworkers think?
They all think it's cool. I mean,
I bet nobody messes with you.
they don't. I already look intimidating, so they don't mess with me even before they know. But yeah, everybody thinks it's pretty cool. You know, they all, when they first meet me, want to know my name so they can go find it, because the manager or the head boss, usually when I go to a new job, has already told everyone prior to me getting there. So
Just so you know, we have a famous employee.
yeah,
You don't want to get
Exactly.
stoned or
Don't
choke
bother
her.
her.
yeah.
Let her be.
Yeah, she's always right, okay? And does the hybrid come from all the things you do?
So yes, the hybrid is because I have so many different things that I'm good at, but also me and my boyfriend were having a conversation about nicknames, and he's like, well, you're kind of like a hybrid, you know, you have like this, and I was like, fuck, that's it. Like, you just
There it
came
is.
up with my nickname, and you can't come up with your own nickname, you know, like that's not,
Somebody's
like,
gonna give it to you. Yeah.
it's not authentic if you come up with your own nickname. So the fact that he came up with it, you know,
Yeah.
makes it that much better.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Yeah, now I was like, what? And now that you're saying all this stuff, I was like, oh, probably it has to do with the million things that
Yeah.
she does daily.
Yeah, it does.
Now it explains it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know Camilo is anxious of getting us.
Oh yeah, excited.
Why does he want to get slapped by everyone?
Hey, I was just taking notes and all the advice I kept hearing just don't open. Now I just heard don't open your eyes, close your eyes. Just don't make me wait so long.
You're gonna take your hat off. We don't want to knock it down.
I didn't do my hair today. Oh man.
You ready?
No, but let's go.
You want to drink some water before?
Nah, I'm
Hydrate.
good. I'm good.
I think before we do it, we got you some merch. It says
Yes.
Brand
Oh,
New.
yeah.
Yes.
So you can check it out. That's the new
Nice.
drop, the new styles we did.
Oh, yeah, I like
So
this.
this is the women's line.
Oh,
Yeah, so we got a
awesome.
little crop top, tank top, and
Oh, you guys are thinking of the women, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a little tank top.
Ooh, nice. I love it.
So, we also got you a
Okay.
skateboard
Custom.
custom.
This is my favorite thing in the world already. Oh, this is dope. Dang.
So hopefully you can find a little bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
to ride
I'm gonna
this.
find time to ride this thing. My dad raised us riding skateboards and surfing, so I'm definitely finding time to ride this thing.
How is surfing?
Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Is,
Thank you,
is
thank
surfing the same as skateboarding?
It's pretty similar. Surfing's definitely harder. But I mean, it's just gotta have a good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anything.
I like surfing. I just started taking the kids, so
Surfing.
yeah.
How long did you surf for?
My dad started taking us, he would take us before school. I grew up in Long
That is
Beach.
so
He would take us to
cool.
Seal
Yeah.
Beach before school. We would surf. I mean, we've done it for years. But I took, like, since I've been an adult,
Yeah.
I just haven't made the time. and one of my coworkers actually is a surf instructor.
Oh wow.
So I was like, we gotta go. So I took them and I was like, you're gonna teach them how to surf. And he's like, why do I gotta teach them? Because he saw me doing it and he's like, you already know how to do it. So.
I think that's
really cool.
Yes. Yes, after. I'm gonna have to teach you how to ride it.
So you ready to get slammed, buddy?
Sure.
All right.
80% or 50?
50.
50.
80's too much.
Let's
80's too much.
let's meet in the middle at 95.
Oh, would you look at what I found?
You want to do standing up or?
Sitting
Or laying
down,
down.
laying down.
Alright, cool.
No, you gotta do the stand. And that's the whole thing.
Nobody's gonna catch you if she.
Oh, what?
Yes.
No, we need catchers. What?
I'm calling Monday now.
He's been messing up
If
a
he
lot.
doesn't come to work on Monday.
We have no workers, come, buddy.
No work.
He's been messing up a lot of mouthpieces.
No, I haven't.
Alright, you wanna do
Yeah, I'll catch
Where
it.
at?
Well, here.
No, but like.
right, yeah, so you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
stand
yeah.
like right here.
Oh my God. Okay, I am gonna give you some advice.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take any
I'm gonna
advice.
hit you on this side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go on 3.
Okay.
So
Do I close my eyes now?
I'm gonna measure,
Okay.
and then this is 1, 2. When I bring it back,
Close my eyes.
close your eyes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit on the 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Woo, all right.
Are you ready?
No. Yes, I'm not.
What? Come on.
right,
You've
let's
already
go.
done this once.
Yeah, my mom used to slap me hard.
No, he hasn't. I got.
Oh, you did. That's
Yeah.
right. I was like, why does he keep getting slapped? All right, you guys are switching arms. Okay.
All right.
Also, spread your feet a little bit and bend your knees. Okay, there you go.
I think I just had said like kind of like.
Yeah, but put that down.
He's like, oh, I can
Don't do this. But you can't. We can't tuck it too much, but you don't want to like stick it out there either.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open them. You gotta see the measure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
This is the measure.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. Close your eyes. Wasn't that bad?
No.
That was a 50%. Let's do it again.
Other cheek now. Woo.
Just take a seat now. It's all right.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's his mouth? He's
The
working.
mouthpiece held up. I'm doing a great job, guys.
Let's what did you put on your mouthpiece?
A Punisher.
Oh, they were punishing you.
Yeah, I got punished too.
Well,
I mean,
I feel
damn
bad
it.
hitting people. That's why I don't hit people hard.
No, I'm just like, damn, that was 50%. I want to feel what 100% is.
I don't think that was 50%. Was that 50%?
Like 10%.
Was that harder than anything?
And she said it was 80%. Dude, you are so brave.
Well, thank you so much for.
Thank you guys for having me.
Coming and
Appreciate
giving
it.
us the honor of having you
The
here.
next, the next show that I'm on in Vegas, you guys will have to come.
Definitely.
Hopefully, if I do well on this one, they'll put me on the December card.
Oh,
Nice.
right on.
Yeah.
And then where can they follow you? Where can they see your fights?
Follow me on Instagram, Jackie the Hybrid Cataline. Everything's on YouTube under Jackie Cataline. Instagram is really the only place that I post. I don't do TikTok and all that other shit. So follow my Instagram.
I'll never get slapped.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys soon.